You're listening to the Nerd to Know Media Network. Join us at nerdtoknowmedia.com.
Broadcasting from the Blanchistan Center, this is Phoenix FM.
The internet is a communications tool used the world over where people can come together to bitch about movies.
According to the Nerd Index, you should be upside down in a junior high toilet around the clock.
This is We're going live! Time goes in, time goes out. Never miscommunication.
It's over 9,000! My name is Foxy.
The balls are in there. Do a barrel roll. Don't chase me, bro. It's a trap. I'm a firing believer. Time to Hey, Charlie, wake up! Oh, God, oh, man.
Hello and welcome to the 2023 Christmas edition of the Nerd to Know Basis Show.
Way!
Airing on Phoenix 92.5 FM and all those other wonderful places on the internet. I'm Keane and Dar's here with me, and we are, as always, going to get into some wonderful Christmas traditions and probably get some distracted along the way and some strange Christmas stuff too. So thank you for joining us on this festive season. Before we get into all of that, Dar, how you doing?
Pretty good. The Tekken 8 demo has just dropped, so literally playing that as we're speaking. It's pretty good. So I'm really looking forward to Tekken.
Excellent. There's no Christmas Tekken, I'm assuming, no?
Well, see, that's the thing. There kind of is. I don't know if
I know there's at least 3 Tekken films, like.
Yeah, no, but the films are kind of its own thing. But
I saw a live action one. It was okay.
Yeah, they're not bad. They're not bad. The actual cartoons are better though. Like the anime is pretty good. But yeah, no, they have like Christmas hats sometimes. Actually, you know what's funny about the Christmas hats, right? People might not know this. So I was in Rome like a little while ago, like last week, and the actual hat, you know, the thing like they call Santa hats. So if you go in and have a look at it, so if you go to like where the popes are buried, so the popes are buried in, some of them are buried in St. Peter's, some of them are buried underneath St. Peter's, and some of them are buried in random places. But you can see them on display because they kind of mummify them and they're there and they're like known as incorruptible and all that kind of stuff, right? As in the body doesn't corrupt. But they're dressed in a very strange way. Strange to a modern eye because they kind of look like Santa Claus. Because they're wearing like all red and they're wearing like a Santa hat. And a Santa hat is not a Santa hat, it's actually a saint hat. So there you go. I mean, it makes sense.
Well,
it makes sense. Like Santa is like
you've
Saint
got your classical studies and you're well traveled. So yeah, I trust all of your info there.
Well, see, I didn't realize this. This is like a realization I had when I was like, wait a minute, he's wearing a Santa hat. And then it like makes sense because Santa is Saint Nicholas.
Right.
So, I mean, when you really think about it, it makes all the sense in the world. And did you know who came up with the color scheme, though, of modern Santa?
Oh, I know. It's Coca-Cola, isn't it?
Coca-Cola, yeah. So it's like, yeah, it's like Catholicism through the lens of Coke is our modern Santa Claus. So
let that
there you
rattle
go,
around
folks.
your brain.
Let that rattle around your brain for a little while. That's the realization I had when I was like, oh wow, this makes way more sense.
Yeah.
So, there you go, folks.
Coca-Cola also invented trucks, just in general.
Really?
No, I'm only joking.
I
always, for me, Christmas is like toy show and the Christmas truck ad turning up are the two like starting guns of Christmas. You know, the Coca-Cola.
I do know it.
The days are coming.
Yeah.
The days are coming. The days are... That one. We're not branded by Coca-Cola. We're just corrupted by it.
I will have to say though, I used to be a big Pepsi fan, and then Pepsi changed the recipe. So
they make it more syrupy or something.
No, they put sugar and aspartame in it, and I'm like, literally, what was the point?
Yeah.
Like, why would you put both in? So I just don't drink Pepsi anymore, which is like a massive. I think the stuff you get in the cinema doesn't have it, but like the ones you buy, because when you taste it now, you're like, this actually tastes really different. So I mean, I don't know why they did that, but Coke haven't changed the recipe since the 80s because they learned that the hard way.
Yeah,
with the whole New
I'll
Coke
be
thing.
honest. If there's ever a can of vanilla Coke in a shop, I will buy it, even though I've pretty much sworn off fizzy drinks. If you
That's fair.
actually, here's a fun thing. You ever want to give up fizzy drinks? Just spill some on a table and then clean it up with kitchen towel, and you realize how much of it is solid. You'll like never go back to it.
Well, yeah, I mean, but the thing about it is, like, you can just do what I did and just drink fizzy water. Same thing.
All right.
If anyone's struggling with like getting over fizzy drinks in general, just drink sparkling water and you'll be grand. That's my
Well, there
advice.
you go. With that, PSA for both of us. I'm gonna give a quick rundown of what we're covering. I am gonna say some of my thoughts on the new Chicken Run film.
Yes.
And we've got some weird Christmas traditions and Christmas specials and all that. But I believe there's a bit of news you want to cover up front, isn't there?
So there's two bits of news actually, because I remember what I was saying. So there is news involving the MCU, like massive earth-shattering news, and then news involving Insomniac. So which one do you want first?
I think I know the MCU news. I probably should have discussed on the air. Can we keep this light for our
Oh,
Christmas episode?
oh yeah, no, obviously, but I mean the main thing. Okay, we'll cover the MCU news briefly. So basically, Kang, the guy actor who played Kang,
Mm.
is fired from the MCU.
Yeah, which is, we sort of had the writings been on the wall about that for a while.
Yeah, and we kind of, well, I said that would happen, and then Kev was like, no, no, of course it won't, and then it did happen. So
Yeah.
I was right, Kev, lol. But in all seriousness, this is a pretty serious thing. The reason
Mm.
why he was fired, we're not going to get into that on the air. Obviously, you can look it up, but it does look like I've been hearing some interesting rumors, and that's kind of what I want to mention. So obviously, these are rumors. Don't take them with any kind of anything beyond that. But I do think we will see them. So obviously they were building up a lot with Kang, right? He was a big thing, blah 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 blah. But if you looked in the last episode of Loki, so spoilers ahead for the last season of Loki, they did kind of do a lot to give themselves an out with the whole Kang thing.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not
And
sure how much they changed. It just seemed like that whole series was a bit of a closed loop. Like,
yes, exactly. And that's kind of when I was watching it, I was like, oh, this is weird. How are you gonna like make Kang such a baddie if you've kind of like closed the loop on Kang's importance really in the MCU. So I mean, look, this is probably why they might not have changed it, but they might have written it in the case, just in case.
yeah.
Um, and it looks more likely that we're going to get Doctor Doom,
Well, you've been saying that for a while.
but now it looks like that's exactly what they're going to do. It
But
looks like
see, this is something I'm kind of like, because I've been a Phase 4 defender for a while, but they've also set up like Galactus in the background and like loads of other things. Like,
yeah, I mean, well, Galactus is a bit too big right now. I
yeah,
mean, they need someone that they can point to and have in the background
yeah,
for things like Secret Wars and like the few other bits that they kind of have left to do. And it's weird. I mean, it works a lot better than Kang, even though there are some really, really good stories that they could do with Kang and just kind of have dropped the ball with,
yeah.
like completely. But I mean, look,
Well,
for
Kang's essential to the Young Avengers, and they're setting that up.
yeah, but I think that's not going to be a thing.
Okay.
I really don't think they'll do that.
I hope so. I like the Young Avengers run.
So do I, but you can also get the same thing with what was it? What was the run with Doctor Doom's children something?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't get that far. But
Yeah,
you're telling me you can look at the end of the Marvels and tell me they're not setting up the Young Avengers.
no, they are no, but what I think they'll do first is they are setting it up obviously, right? But what they will do, I think there is No More Mutants. That's what it's called. So No More Mutants obviously was when
Oh, the
Scarlet
post House of M arc, like
yes.
yeah,
I think they'll do House of M first. And then I'll bring in the X-Men, but also bring in Doctor Doom, and that's what they've set up in the Marvels as well. And now, given the fact that Jonathan Majors is fired, like, and he's just not coming back, I think they will be like, right, we're leaning into this more, and that's kind of what they're going to do. So that's a big news. It literally broke 2 days ago, if not last night. And guys, you can't say that we don't give you breaking news here first because are we all right?
Well, I mean, like the whole thing is that Kang is like an admirer. He's a descendant of the Mr. Fantastic, but he's an admirer of Doctor Doom, isn't he? So they can kind of find a
Yes.
way to make it all loop round together or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is, it's like, yeah, Kang would have been interesting, and obviously, we don't know how the movies would have been. We don't know what they would have been about, blah blah blah. But Doctor Doom makes way more sense. I think he
They
can do
can
an awful
still
lot
do
more,
like Immortus, like the benevolent Kang, and just with a different
and
actor.
I think they will. I mean, once they just put some guy behind the mask, I don't really
Yeah,
think it
have
matters.
Immortus turn up, say all the other Kangs were inspired by this guy, and
Yeah,
he's the real thing. And they pretend they were planning it the whole time, like
exactly.
all
And
that jazz.
I
Like,
mean, having Loki there as well, kind of fixing the timelines, or making sure that basically Kang's war can't happen, which is implied at by the end of Loki. They've kind of closed the loop. So it looked messy as all hell. Did they plan it? We don't know. But it wouldn't shock me if there were some rewrites when we're like, look,
yeah.
this might go dodgy. We need a way out of here. And I think that's what they've done.
Okay, but what was the other big news you wanted to break?
So the other big news is a bit less speculative. It's a bit less salacious, but it is wild. So we talk about cybersecurity issues on this podcast here and there when they happen, and holy heck, we got a doozy for everybody. So it's the single largest video game hack in history, larger than the Sony hack from like 10 years ago, larger than the Rockstar hack that happened a couple of months ago. Large, you name it, this is bigger than all of it. And the reason why is because they got everything. So
Well,
from
hang
from
on. I know pretty much nothing about this. So start from the beginning.
so news broke a little while ago that Insomniac Games, so the developers behind the new Spider-Man games, behind the Wolverine game, The Last of Us, all that kind of stuff, were hacked. And it was a ransomware attack, and they were like, "Look, pay us $2 million, or we're going to release everything." Right. So what's interesting about this is that's a weird ransomware vector. Usually, what they do with ransomware, they encrypt everything, and then they're like, "Give us the money, we'll give you the key," or that's it. These guys actually took all the data, so they literally ransomed it. They didn't like encrypt it. They're like, "We're going to release it," which is very very strange. Usually that doesn't happen. It happened in HSE hack as well, but it shows that this was a very, very either a very sophisticated attack or someone messed up huge, depending which one. So they weren't just like launching a program and encrypted everything. They got in and were able to pull this data and take it off to a command and control server, which is very similar to what happened with the HSE. And then a lot of that stuff ended up on the dark web.
So
This
I'm sorry, just because I'm not as like tech savvy as you. Like, are they threatening to leak games, or is it personal
So,
information, or like?
so that's a good question. So with the HSC one, and again, it's the only real comparison we can have because we did cover it in great detail. You can go back and check it out on nerdtoknowmedia.com. They just dumped personal information on the dark web or the deep web, and that obviously that's been covered. You can check that out. Loads of news sources gone into it, right?
Right.
This, however, was different in the sense that they just dropped it on the surface internet. So you can go and find this. You can find full playthroughs of what they have of the Wolverine game so far. There's playable builds which you can just run and play yourself. Of all these big projects, you can find financial statements of Jack and Daxter. You can find financial statements for The Last of Us. You can find new projects that they're working on other new IPs or existing IPs. And look, that is what it is. It's kind of bad, blah blah blah. But where it really, really gets dangerous and like kind of crosses that line, it also releases loads of PPI, so personal identification, or PII, identifiable information. Which means staff listings, home addresses, all because they're also all online. So their entire staff was also, from the looks of it, if not like most of the staffs, were doxxed as well as a result of this. So really bad, like company wide, from the cleaners up to the tops, everything was gone. They got absolutely everything. And
Okay, but what does this mean for the company and for culture in general going forward? Like,
well, it means that, like, obviously, like, security is everyone's responsibility. And we've seen in this country, even in like in stark detail, that it's very easy to be susceptible to this. And who's to blame? Probably everybody. Like obviously there weren't stuff followed. There was poor training. There was whatever. Like you don't get in that deep without someone failing huge. Now I don't know what the actual vector was because that wasn't made available yet. We probably know in the next couple of days. But if I was to guess, I would say it was just a spear phishing email. They got in and were able to have access to everything. They pulled everything onto a server somewhere then waited, and they issued their demands. They didn't pay, and that was it. So I mean, they're obviously
But from your experience of this, does paying actually guarantee that the stuff won't get leaked anyway?
usually not. No, uh, I mean, uh, the only real way, full disclosure, my thesis for my master's, which I've literally signed up for today, is on ransomware. Like this is what it's going to be on. And usually not. No, they might just release it anyway. But it will. It should be a lesson learned. Like it's a lot easier to prevent this than it is to cure it. There is no cure per se. There is no way to stop it, once it's kind of been done. The best way really is to have your backups ready to go and encrypt those backups. And also like limit who has access to what and then train your staff. That's
But that's
genuinely the
kind of, I
best
mean, you kind
advice.
of answered this already, and I apologize for putting it across to you, but like, is this a case of like just inexperience or I'm trying to think of the
Complacency.
kindest word,
Complacency.
like just
It's complacency. That's what it is.
complacency? That's what I was looking for. Or is this more of like a targeting attack? Is it technology getting ahead of security? Like, what's your kind of broad take on it?
Look, in my experience, it doesn't matter what technology you have, right? You can have, and I've seen it literally without naming names and going into it because I literally cannot.
Hmm,
Um, I've seen the largest entities you can think of with $1 million tech,
right.
and someone is logging into it with a password that's admin, right?
I bet there's a lot of people sweating out there. Listen, I've
Right?
just heard that now.
Right. It doesn't matter how much money or how much tech you spend. And this is like again, this isn't a joke, guys. This isn't a bit. This is like somebody who works in the industry. Um, like that's what it is. Or people will like log into it on their home computer and they'll skip the VPN login or they'll use an easy password or whatever it will be, or they won't look at the link and they'll click the link and then they're like, oh my God, I clicked the link, and they won't tell anybody, and then by the time to tell someone it's like 2 or 3 days later. I mean, here's
I
the thing.
see. So they don't want to be culpable, so they just don't
Exactly.
tell, and then it gets
Yeah.
worse. Like,
It gets worse and worse and worse, and you don't know what they've got, and this whole thing. I mean, look, there really is only one way to stop something like this, and that is to have a culture of openness when it comes to security risk. Like, look, okay, I messed up. Here's the thing, because and again to have like redundancies in this place where you're like, right, you can log in, but then you need like a multi-factor authentication.
right.
It goes up and up and up and up and up, right? But the important takeaway from, and this is why we talk about this, because it is a very interesting thing when it happens, but it's also more interesting is why did it happen, right? These guys only have to get lucky once, right? When you're dealing with cybersecurity, you have to get lucky every time. And that's what it comes down to. I mean, this hack, and to answer your question, it was a target hack. Absolutely, of course it was. All the companies are being hacked. Governments are being hacked all the time. There's probably someone sitting there, a team of people sitting right now in any company and
Mm.
government you can think of, like defending these attacks. Everything's been attacked all the time, constantly. And that's just the way it is. Maybe not from people, but probably from bots or whatever. And like you just have to be vigilant. And what happened here was like when this always happens, because this is always a fault of people. This is like a people problem.
Right.
They're just complacent, and they're like, oh, they probably logged in. It was getting close to the holidays. They're like, oh, I'll check my email or whatever. Like again, I don't know this. This is just my guess. Probably how these kind of things happen. Probably during the holiday, Christmas party or whatever. They're like they log in. Someone sends a spear phishing email. It looks real, and they're like, hey, great to see you at the party last night, blah, blah, blah. Here's pictures of us. They click it before they realize it. They're in the system. And then they just wait. They just wait. And then you can get all the stuff that you want. And then you just wait. 6 months down the line, um, you get everything you need, and then you just send them the notice. Hey, look, if you don't give us X amount, we're gonna release this or we're gonna encrypt all this. And by that time, it's too late. And that's how all these ransomware attacks happen.
Okay. Christmas.
Christmas. Well, here's the thing. Well, Keen, it's funny, right? It's funny. Most of these attacks happen over holidays, happen over weekends, happen over Christmas. Because, as I said, they only need to get lucky once. So, moral of the story, folks, if you're going to ask for anything for Christmas, if you're running a company or anything that has that, update your cybersecurity and don't click links. Genuinely, just here's the thing: if you get a text message, it's a scam. If you if you get a link that you don't know, it's probably a scam. Like, I mean, obviously not every text message is a scam, but there's enough of them there that I would be wary of it. And for me, if someone sends me a text message, I delete them automatically, unless it's like a one-time passcode or something like that. I will verify. Like today, I got a text message from on Post, and I went in to check that on my email, and that's how paranoid I am. But you
No, I
don't need to be.
literally, and to the annoyance of them, I literally just go to the post office.
That's even better again. You just kind of have to be vigilant. And obviously, they're not going to come after you all the time, but they only have to get lucky once. And I mean, I always tell the story that where I was in a shop, I was queuing up for a roll, and I was waiting for or whatever, and I was mindlessly scrolling, and Facebook. Remember when Facebook got hacked and like random people would send you messages that,
Oh yeah.
yeah, and I was just like, oh, I haven't talked to this person in a while, and then I nearly clicked on it. And I was like, wait a minute, what am I doing? And it's that kind of like,
But like it sort of relies on your complacency, like you said.
exactly, exactly. It relies on that kind of like passive, complacent mindset
Yeah.
where you're not really thinking, and that's when it works.
Mm.
It's like the whole Nigerian prince scam or any kind of scam that you get, where you get these emails and it's like it looks real and it might look really, really real, but there's something off about it.
Yeah.
It only really works. It only has to work once. It doesn't need to work all the time because they're sending out hundreds of these messages, or the attacks are happening again and again and again. And I feel bad for Insomniac because like they are a really good company. They're one of the best video game like developers. They don't, do loads of shifty things that uh some well allegedly shifty things that some companies would be guilty of or that people would hold against them. It's just bad luck. And that's really it. It's just bad luck, and it looks terrible because it is, but it could have happened to any company. And look, will they be the only one being hacked? No, they won't. Like, it just happens to be the biggest hack in gaming history. So,
Okay. Well, on
there we
that
go.
bombshell, do you fancy talking about chickens?
Yes. Well, I'm gonna let you talk. Just don't ruin it for me because I really want to see it.
I won't. I won't spoil it. I won't
Okay.
spoil anything beyond the first 15 minutes. Say.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I'm assuming based on your incredible defensiveness that you are very fond of the original Chicken Run.
Very.
Exactly. Well, I mean, I've been kind of quietly hyped about this for a while. For
I didn't know about this. I didn't even know there was a sequel coming.
Well, they've been kind of promoting it for like about a few months. It's straight to Netflix, in case you don't know. Chicken Run, Dawn of the Nugget. The sequel, 23 years later. Very peculiar stuff. And it is properly Aardman and all that. And the basic setup is it picks up right where the original Chicken Run leaves off. They are on their little island of paradise. And now Rocky and Ginger have a little baby, and it's kind of it very quickly they kind of do a little nice montage time skip. We're kind of following her as like a sort of a teenager, tweenager. They're not specific about her age. She's a chicken called Molly, and she kind of gets the I want my freedom adventuring bug. But they've been kind of sheltered her and all the other kind of young chickens from what they escaped. So for her, she thinks she's kind of in the prison already. So when she wants to start exploring the world, and a kind of a high-tech chicken farm sets up across the river, and sort of one thing leads to another, and it's sort of a heist movie. So you literally know nothing about this, no?
I literally didn't even know it existed.
You've got your homework for tonight then. But no, I won't spoil too much if you haven't seen it. But I, even for kind of having looked forward to it for a while, I went in with sort of moderate expectations. I assumed that it would be kind of a Finding Dory thing where it'd be cute, but kind of like not life changing. But this is really good. It's like top notch. It's very funny. It feels like it's faithfully kind of carrying on the spirit of that original film. And weirdly enough, much scarier than the original Chicken Run. And the original Chicken Run was kind of harsh in places,
Absolutely.
Like obviously it's hard not to kind of get into plot stuff, but like I suppose kind of Stevie, my wife, caught it, which is that whereas the original Chicken Run is like The Great Escape, but with chickens.
Yes.
This is closer to, like 1960s The Prisoner, or like kind of like early Mission Impossible and stuff. It's very weird. It
sounds very weird.
It's very 60s. It's got this slightly surreal quality to it. Because I mean, I kind of, as you can probably infer from what I said earlier, the little new chicken, Molly, the daughter, ends up in this place not knowing it's a chicken farm, and they have to rescue her. So on the one hand, you've got her in this like very new age psychedelic, like they're all allowed to like play on seesaws and stuff, not knowing that like, there's sinister things in the background. And on the other hand, you've got all our familiar characters trying to break in to break them out. And all the stuff inside the farm, it's got this very slow build where you're like, what's wrong? Something's wrong. I know something's wrong. Why are they hiding it? And once it all kind of starts kicking off about halfway through, and I won't say what it is, obviously, like, I'll put it this way. Prim was hiding behind the couch. It's not like a slasher or anything, but it's very unsettling. Like, and I mean that as a compliment. It's like the way in, like, say, films in the 80s, like, they just put in quite scary stuff alongside the happy, funny stuff. And, it was just how films were made. So I'd be surprised if some kids were put off by this, but personally, I loved it. I thought it was great. Maybe I've only just watched it 2 hours ago, so maybe I'm still buzzing, but I thought it was comparable to the original, and that's fairly high praise,
Particularly like, so does the cast return?
Not most of them now. I'll get the cast list in front of me now. The only ones who return from the original, as far as I can tell, is I'd have to look up the cast now, but the one who's always like, "Are we going on holiday?"
Yes.
That chicken. The funny one is always like knitting,
Yes.
And there's like some other characters who it's kind of spoilers. I can't really say like who they are, but for the most part, it's ground up recasting. Zachary Levi, the Shazam guy.
Oh, he's a really good casting.
Yeah, he's the new Rocky. For replacing Mel Gibson. Thandie Newton is the new Ginger. They've got Bella Ramsey as the kid, which you can't really go wrong with that.
No.
Babs. Babs is the kind of holiday chicken, and Bunty, they're still there. So a few recasts. Oh, they've still got Timothy Spall as the what's it called? The rat, Nick and Fetcher, like, and right. they've added in a few faces, like they've got David Bradley as Fowler now, and like Peter Serafinowicz is in the mix, and like it's it's solid. It's some recasting, but it doesn't feel jarring, because there's a huge time jump anyway.
Yeah, so, and time jump is always going to be a bit.
It sound a bit different. That kind of makes sense, So
how many years is it based in the from the last one? 3 years?
Well, I mean, the daughter is like a teenager, so like significant amount of time at any
Yeah,
rate.
but I mean, chickens don't live that long.
Well, I don't know the in-world logic, but in the logic of the chickens, it's a significant amount of time because an
Okay.
ingredient of it is the Ginger, the main chicken from the original, kind of going through the trauma
Of what they actually
of
survived,
what
yeah.
they actually survived, and she isn't able to communicate that to her kid. She's
Right.
just like, stay on the island. You're not leaving. That's you don't get a say in this, you know. Whereas with Rocky, you've got like he's kind of the swaggering. I used to be a cool superstar kind of thing. So she's getting the wrong impressions of the world from both of them, you know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So no, I honestly don't know is to answer your question, but it is implied in a big montage of all the kids growing up and stuff that it is a fairly big amount of time, you know.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, but I'd recommend it anyway. It's like I said, I don't need to overhype the scariness, but like it's it's really warm and funny, and just the entire conceit of it is very strange and unsettling. Like the original, like I mean, look, it's about chickens getting turned into chicken pies, and that's the series, you know. No
Yeah.
matter what, it's the first film handled that very bluntly with its like big chicken pie machine and all that. And this
Yeah.
one, it's more, I don't want to
Subtle.
say surreal, but I'd say atmospheric.
Yeah, it sounds
No,
like it's
there's
more
something
subtle.
like The Prisoner. It's The Prisoner, you know? Do you
Okay.
know The Prisoner from the 60s? Like,
I sure do, yeah.
so it's all like, again, it's hard not to spoil it, but the chickens are all put in this like perfect pastel colored looking compound with suns on the wall
For what,
and all
guys?
that.
You know what this is? For anyone that hasn't seen The Prisoner, the episode of Simpsons with the island.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And like the chickens all start going glass-eyed, and like you're like they'd say hello, and you get kind of hello, it is a lovely day, and like
Yeah.
they kind of. I'm not trying to give anything away, but that's the vibe. It's
Right.
more unsettling and unusual, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd recommend it. Go watch it. Most
So
people have Netflix. You can literally click away from this and do it now. You know, it's really really good.
okay. How are we doing for time?
23 minutes.
Okay. Right, Keen, I have a question for you.
Yes.
So obviously this is like 2 days before Christmas or day before Christmas Eve
Yeah.
when this is going out. Now I don't know about you, right? But I'm not like a huge actually sorry. I do know you're a huge Christmas person. Right? I really love Christmas. So I forgot who I was talking to for a second. I'm not really a huge like traditional Christmas person. I'm really not. I don't go in for it. I don't really like it. You know, that might change in the future. I've gotten a
May
little bit
change the
better.
next 20 minutes.
I've gotten a little bit
This
better.
is your Christmas carol. You're going to be visited by 3 podcast guests.
Well, I mean, I've gotten a little bit better. I think last year is the first time I kind of got into the Christmas thing.
Right.
Thanks to of all places, Euro Disney or Disneyland
Right.
Paris. When you go over there at Christmas, you really get like into the Christmas thing a lot easier. But but that aside, I mean, it is like one of the only times of the year where you're kind of forced to do nothing. And for me, that's very weird. I find that very hard to do.
You're
But
not a teacher, are you?
no, I'm not. No, I'm not. As I said, my job doesn't allow me to kind of stop doing things. So when I get the opportunity, it is quite hard for me to turn that off.
Mm.
Um, but 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 there are certain things that I like to do around Christmas because I mean, even biannually, um, just because as you mentioned, for you, it's like you know when the Christmas Coke ads start and
Mm.
the toy show and that. For me, it's a bit more subtle than that. It's like you know, I really like just being able to go back through my back catalog of games and be able to play the ones that
So you're
I really
talking about your own personal
my
Christmas.
own personal things that I do around Christmas. And one of the things that I always really like to do, and I haven't done it in like 2 or 3 years because you know I like to leave a bit of a gap, is actually going back and playing Bully, the first like probably
The thing by Rockstar Games.
correct the thing by Rockstar Games, which is horrifically misnamed because it's not about being a bully, it's actually about fighting bullies. And it's called cost
I've
edit. I
watched
think.
that playthrough. It's a bit 50-50.
No. I mean, it depends how you play it, right? But it's a very, very fun just experience. And the thing about it is you can actually play it in about what, 2 days? Like taking breaks and eating and stuff. You can actually play the whole lot in about 2 days. It for me, that kind of sums up the Christmas period a lot, where you're just able to invest
Bully
in a game.
people.
Well, no, I mean, because you're not really bullying people. You're bullying the bully, but and also that game is a lot, like a big section of it's based on Christmas. So you're doing Christmas themed missions, you know. And I just think that's really fun. And I don't know if that's something you do, or if something that like uh you had the opportunity to do, where you're like, okay, I haven't had the chance to do this at all this year. I'm gonna do it now. Like Lego sets as well. I mean, when I was a kid, we'd do Lego sets as well. Because you'd have just that block of time. So my question is there anything that you would do or have done over the past couple of years that for you can only be done at like Christmas?
Well, I mean, to be honest, not much, because for 7 years I was in a shop.
Yeah, I mean
And
that's
the Christmas tradition is you work Christmas Eve until about
and
7 or 8,
this
and
shocks
then you
me.
get 2 days off,
This
and then
shocks
you're
me that
back.
you're a Christmas person like that.
But in the last 2 years, I've escaped. I'm starting to cultivate little traditions and stuff. I mean,
Right.
like in our family, like we start Christmas in like the middle of November. Like I fight to keep it to the toy show, but I lose. So like if you're talking like traditions, we watch a Christmas film a day. Like there's a massive pile of them that goes away into the cupboard we've got here. Like we have the tree up, we have all the cards up. I do for my kids a Christmas song bingo sheet that we also do with 25 Christmas songs that we all have to like listen in the wild.
Right.
Like you can't just look up I want hippopotamus for Christmas. You have to hear it in the background of a film or something. You can't cheat.
So like you're doing the opposite of Whamageddon then.
Yeah, exactly.
By the way,
Essentially,
by the way,
yes.
did you win this year? Are you winning
I
or
didn't
did you
even
lose?
try. Are you kidding me? I work alongside dance teachers and stuff. There's no way I'm not like hearing all that, but I don't mind. I prefer to go out and seek them rather than avoid them.
I lost.
It's
I lost this
be
year. I was really.
proactive, you know?
I look. The only way to. So if anyone doesn't know what Whamageddon is, it's the goal to go out and not hear Last Christmas by Wham until like Christmas Eve. And I was doing quite well, and then I came home. My dad was watching the new series of Nevermind the Buzzcocks.
Right.
Literally, I took the headphones off, and it plays. I'm like, oh, that's it. It's gone. Because I mean,
I give you like a 3 second rule. If you can run out of the room, you're
ah,
probably
no,
fine.
no. I mean, if you're like the only real way to, so I've won Whamageddon a couple of years in a row, and the only actual way to do it is to always have headphones on when you're outside.
I could do that.
It's the only way to do it because you will hear it. Like it
The
just
more
appears.
difficult setting is the Mariah Carey. That's impossible.
Oh, that's impossible. You're
That's
not
legendary.
even. Yeah, you're
You
not even.
actually have to be like a hermit with no
Yeah,
Wi-Fi.
even still, it will still find you. I mean,
Oh, she like if you're not listening, she will come find you.
yeah, no, there's no way. Like that is genuinely impossible. Like Last Christmas, it's funny because I actually really like that song, so I kind of hate Wham again at the same time, but I also get drawn into playing it because I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, it's a fun challenge. But yeah, man, it's with Mariah Carey, you're not winning that. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
literally as soon as Thanksgiving is over, or even Halloween is over, Last Christmas, not Last Christmas, All I Want for Christmas shows up, you know. So
Yeah.
you're just not, you know. But
To return to your question,
go
like
on.
I mean, we always save the Muppets Christmas Carol for Christmas Eve or Christmas Day.
Now you know what's interesting.
Yeah.
So Cineworld are actually showing again. We're not sponsored by Cineworld. I just have a black card. I go there a lot.
Unless we are.
Well,
Then
if we were, I
well,
would
if you're
tell everybody. I
listening.
would be more than happy to do
Yeah.
it. But I just happen I have a black card. I have 2 weeks
They've
off.
been promoting you for free for a while now.
Well, we're not trying to, man. It's just that's where I go. You know. Um, but yeah, no. So they're doing like a bunch of Christmas movies. They did Home Alones, which was cool. But the big one that they're doing on Christmas, like pre-Christmas Eve, so the 23rd, and I think on Christmas Eve is actually the Christmas Carol, which is is that like a big thing where people like watch the Christmas Carol on Christmas Eve?
The Muppets one.
Well, in general, but yeah,
Oh
the
God,
Muppets one
yeah.
is really?
Oh yeah, a huge section of my friends are still actively furious because one song got removed when Love Is Gone. Like
Oh
it
yeah, I
was
heard
on the
about this.
VHSs
I heard
and it
about
got
this.
like removed on DVD and Disney Plus Sports and stuff, and it was a source of major contention that they actually had to restore it on Disney Plus later on. So yeah, no, like in Geek Ireland, I tend to do like a write up of like a Christmas film every year, like something I like about it, some old thing, And there's always like a giant dog pile over Muppets Christmas Carol. People love that one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like it's fine. Um, fine.
Fine. By the
I mean,
standard of what?
I don't know. I mean, Christmas Carol. Yeah, like the Disney. I like the Disney one a lot more.
Which
The
one's the
one,
Disney one?
the one with Mickey Mouse.
I don't know that one.
Oh, that's a really good one. It has
It's
yeah, it's a good one. It's like,
I vaguely recall the sort of the Donald Duck's like rich uncle being in
yeah, he's
it.
in it. He plays Scrooge. He plays
Okay, then I think I do
Ebenezer
know it.
Scrooge.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, that's the one that I kind of grew up with. And the Muppets for me, I might be on my own here, but are kind of weird, man. I mean, I grew up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But that's the appeal of it. The Muppets are
I
like
know,
a
but I
failed are failures at putting on a show. And the further they get away from that, the less sense it makes. But that's
but
so
it
putting
it
on Christmas Carol is like right up their street, you know?
it just it just does nothing for me. I mean, look, I like the Christmas Carol that they do is quite good. I mean, come on, the main actor is Michael Caine. Like,
Yeah. And he
it's going
takes
to
it seriously.
he does he 100% gives it, and it is a very very good movie. Like it genuinely
Yeah.
is.
As does Tim Curry in the Treasure
As does Tim
Island one.
Curry. Yeah, that's very true. But I mean, I find that weird. I might be on my own, but like
No, you
the
are
people.
right. It's I've had like people say that weirdly enough, even comparing the other Christmas carols, like the Jim Carrey one, the Patrick Stewart one, so on, so on, so on.
Past Short's really
The
good.
Muppets one is weirdly the most faithful to the book,
I've heard that. Yeah, I've
despite the
heard that too.
humor,
I've heard that too. Yeah, I mean, I think
And I think
that's why it
it's
works.
hugely helped by the fact that they didn't take shortcuts. If you
No.
notice, none of the Muppets are the ghosts of Christmas past.
Yes.
The bits that are serious are taken seriously, you know?
And I think that's probably why people like it's the same with the Disney one. The Disney one actually is very, very good.
Hmm.
It's I think it was from the time period as well when Disney did they did like the weird like choices with animation where they did
Yeah.
like, Mickey Mouse gets his brain changed with like a zombie and all that kind of stuff. Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm just kind of surprised by that at the same time. But I mean, we are in Ireland and the UK, so yeah, it just kind of track. It just kind of track.
Oh, and just to return to your original question, I've now added watching all of Hawkeye to my
Oh, I fin
Christmas Eve rotation.
I might actually finish it now over
Give
Christmas
it a
because I have
try. It's if you're not watching it week to week, it's just a pretty good Christmas film.
yeah.
2.5 hours, you could knock it out in an evening once you like take away all the little interruptions. Like,
Well, I mean, there are certain things as well that people would watch or that, I might like dip in and out of, which is obviously Die Hard, watching the first Die Hard, second Die
yeah,
Hard because they are Christmas movies.
yeah,
But also, so I went to go see Eyes Wide Shut, and I think that might become a Christmas tradition. Uh,
okay.
well, that's a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
It,
I'll take
it
your word for it. I haven't seen it.
oh, it's a great. It was actually I was randomly going into town during the week, and I was like, oh, what'll I
Hmm.
go see? And it was either go see the new Godzilla movie or go see Eyes Wide Shut in the Lighthouse. And I was like, yeah, I haven't seen Eyes Wide Shut in a while, and I go see it, and it was great. Like it's a great movie. It's a weird movie, of course it is, but I'm like, oh, this could be a fun Christmas tradition. Um, so I might do that.
I do like the weird things. For a while, someone I knew had a tradition where they would watch the Samuel Jackson version of Shaft on every Christmas morning, just to like resist all the Christmassy stuff, you know?
Ah, no, I mean, you know what I do like? I like watching Elf. around Christmas week. I think that's
Oh,
super fun.
Elf is lovely.
And usually in my family we watch Home Alone on Christmas Eve.
Oh yeah, of course.
Like
Essential view.
yeah, like one or two or even both because they are essential viewing.
Mm.
So no, I mean I'm not like resistant to the Christmas thing. I think that's kind of silly. I mean unless celebrate Christmas, which then
Mm.
why would you? But I mean, but it's just and as somebody who can be the contrarian, like I'm very contrarian, usually because it's funny. But I mean, there are nice things to do at Christmas, and sometimes the more Christmassy it is, the better. And I think like Home Alone, for example, like it is the most Christmassy Christmas thing ever.
Yeah.
Except, well, one and two are, and the rest are crimes against
Three
humanity.
is three is okay,
Okay,
I
three's
think.
okay. Three actually isn't too bad. I don't hate it.
If
But
you think of it like that film, The Usual Suspects gets invaded by Home Alone, it's sort of funny on a bit of a meta level, you know?
no, that's fair. I know. I guess it was made by the same like creative team.
Yeah.
So actually, I was watching a review of that there, like before we start taping. I was watching a review of four.
Mm.
Did you know that four is actually a direct sequel to two?
No, we talked about four a few Christmases ago,
But
because
no,
it was supposed to be
did
a
you know?
pilot
No,
for a Home Alone show, but I never knew that about it.
no, it is a direct sequel. Like Kevin McAllister is the main character,
Okay.
and Marv is the main villain. They just all been recast.
Okay, that I didn't know.
Neither did I. And then I think the one we talked about a couple of years ago was or even last year was the one that was released last year, where they wiped three of them away, and it was a direct sequel to two, and that's
Oh,
based
I
in the same
see. So it's
universe.
like they do that with like Halloween and with Terminator, especially
Oh yeah, Terminator's a total
Superman.
mess.
Sometimes, like it's like no, this is the Exorcist this year.
Oh yeah, it was a
No, this
terrible
is the
movie.
real sequel, not that
Yeah.
other real sequel we did recently.
Yeah, no, Terminator. That's actually a really good shout, man. Terminator is like the best case in point of that. It's like, oh, this is the real sequel to Terminator 2. It's like, wait, what about the other five movies that were sequels to
Yeah,
Terminator
well, at
2?
least Terminator has the excuse that it kind of mucks around with time travel.
Yeah,
I don't think Kevin
yeah.
McAllister does.
Well, who knows? I mean, I kind of like the fan theory that he's actually Jigsaw. He goes to be Jigsaw.
I've never heard that
Have
before.
you not?
No, I just like that we're now that Home Alone has been out for so long now that sorry, the actor's name's escaped me. Macaulay Culkin and his brother are like, adults with fairly successful careers. Like, I mean, that show Succession that everyone's raving about
Oh yeah,
had
yeah.
Culkin's brother, who is literally just kid who drinks fizzy drink in the start of Home Alone and smiles weirdly, you know?
No. He also pees the bed. That's a joke.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like, that's his
I like
acting
I
contribution.
like the way that he left out like
Kieran
his
Culkin,
name.
that's his name.
Kieran
Sorry.
Culkin. Yeah, he's also in Scream 4.
And Scott Pilgrim, which we
And
covered
Scott
last
Pilgrim.
week. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like he arguably he's probably the better Culkin because he's in.
Well, Macaulay Culkin's kind of more YouTube centric, and that's fine. That's entertainment. I mean, look,
Yeah, but Kieran
red letter
Culkin.
media is nothing to be sniffed at. Like,
No, but Kieran Culkin has been in better things, in my opinion. Controversial, I know, but it wouldn't be a Nerd to Know media or Nerd to Know basis show without me being a little bit
I
controversial, right?
think they've just gone in different directions. I mean, I know what you mean. Like, Kieran Culkin's like going down the like kind of more IMDb Critics' Choice Award type route, certainly. But
Yeah, I mean, but like as far like it's funny because Macaulay Culkin is obviously probably a bigger name because of what he was in.
yeah,
But at the same time, it's like when you're watching Kieran Culkin, you're like, actually, this is going to be a good performance. And I mean, as I said, like Scream 4, I actually really, really like Scream 4, and he's a huge part of why. He was also in Lords of Chaos, which is a phenomenal movie about the Norwegian black metal scene, where he
yeah.
plays like Euronymous, which is like one of the biggest names in that. And that was like a weird choice. And then Secession as well, like that's an awesome movie. And even in Scott Pilgrim, like he plays like one of the best characters in Scott Pilgrim.
Oh,
So
he upstages everyone in the movie
yeah, he does.
just by
He,
being like
yeah, he
being
does.
sardonic, basically.
He's so funny. He's so
Yeah.
funny.
Like
Um,
effortlessly funny. Like,
oh yeah, no, it's like when you're rewatching that movie. When I rewatch that movie, I rewatch it because Anna Kendrick does the same thing, but she's not in it that much. But he's just like sardonic the entire time, and it's
yeah.
absolutely hilarious.
Hey,
But
look out! It's that one guy.
he's like, oh, you just missed him. And he jumps out the window. It's so funny. Yeah, no, but I mean, I ask because if you haven't seen like Kieran Culkin's work, like if you see him in it, like absolutely do go watch it because it's probably going to be a good time. It's like Evan Peters. Watch Evan Peters in anything.
Yeah. But with our 7 minutes left, I want to talk about a little Christmas phenomenon, which is
Oh.
that we kind of covered this before recording, which is that we don't really get Christmas TV specials that much anymore.
No,
I did
we
a bit
don't.
of digging, and the only
Sorry,
ones I could
hold
find.
on, hold 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 on.
7 minutes. Hold on a bit
On
quicker.
on that point, right? When I was in Orlando this year, right? I went to like there on Instagram. There was like this one of my friends sent me this link to this girl who went to an outlet mall, and there's an outlet mall of real Disney merchandise that they'd sell in the parks, but it's kind of off season, right? Phenomenal shop. I cannot remember the name of it. I will post it on our social media, right? But I was able to get a Life Day orb
Like from Star Wars Holiday
from
Special.
Star Wars Holiday Special.
Wow.
I can't believe I just the first time I'm telling you this. I'm gonna post it in our chat, to put it on our social media. I'm gonna put it in my decorations. Life Day orb, guys. It's a thing. I have one. Sorry, Kate, go.
I have so many questions. I'll breeze through this quickly so we can get back to that.
So we can get back to that.
No, but like something I really love, because as I've kind of confessed, I love the Christmas season. Like I love kind of that it's like a very special time. You can only watch certain things and then they're gone. Like, but they don't really, and maybe it's to do with like terrestrial TV not being as big a thing anymore with streaming and all that. There aren't that many Christmas specials of things. I did a bit of digging around, and Marvel's flying the flag. We've got a new What If thing coming this week. And Hawkeye and Guardians of the Galaxy did a thing. But like from digging in, all I could find relatively recently was Frasier did a Christmas episode this Christmas, but that's kind of a throwback anyway. Staged, the thing with David Tennant and Michael Sheen, did one last year, but that was a parody, more or less. And years ago, there was like Black Mirror, but that's it. Like, I mean, even the Community ones are kind of like parodies of things from like the 80s and stuff. And like, kind of, my question was like, I mean, do you have any like kind of Christmas TV specials that are like close to your heart or anything like that?
Not really. As I said, I'm not like a huge Christmas person. I mean, I don't know. It's just I think you are right in what you said, where like think about it, right? When we were kids, or even when we were teenagers, everybody still kind of watched the same stuff, where you'd be like, okay, it's 7 o'clock on a Wednesday. Everybody's watching The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Everyone is watching The Simpsons, our age, right? Now, everybody's so disparate and has their own kind of thing going on. They probably won't. Like the MC, there was a good point that the MCU is the last bit of monoculture that we've had, where everyone had some kind of investment in it, and we haven't really had anything since then. And that's probably what it is. Like it's a lot harder to have a Christmas special that everybody's going to watch if nobody's watching it at Christmas. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, yeah. So the only thing that I would really watch in that vein would be either something that we watched as kids, which is, as you said, went through a few of them. The Simpsons have a bunch of cool Christmas specials, but again,
Yeah, the Try and
we watched
Save
them as kids.
episode is a lovely one.
It is, but then again, they came out when we were kids.
Yeah.
So yeah, like the only thing I can think about that would fit that mold is Hawkeye.
Sorry, Stevie is walking near me. Great British Pottery Throwdown.
They're doing a Christmas special.
Thank you. Terrestrial
Stevie.
television.
Terrestrial television.
Ghost, the comedy.
The BBC show, yeah?
Yeah, they're doing a Christmas special, and Mog is the...
What is Mog?
What is Mog?
cat. It's replacing the snowman.
What?
People who do the snowman and Father Christmas, they're not
Oh,
doing
that's
Mog the
true.
cat.
Channel 4 do like an animated like Tiger Came to Tea type thing every
That's
Christmas.
the one,
That's
yeah.
true. Yeah. But
there we
yeah,
go.
but relatively
I was aware
slim
of this.
pickings outside of that. Like Agretzko did a Christmas special a few years back.
Yes.
I'll run through what in our 2 minutes left.
Okay.
A couple of things that we love to do in this house. We love the Frasier Christmas specials. There's like 9 of those. My brother loves the Blackadder one. Father Ted obviously is an essential one. Futurama are feeling a little bit better. They've got 2 good Christmas episodes as far as I'm aware. Obviously Doctor Who is like 15 of them, and there's going to be a new one this Christmas, like, you know. And yeah, again, if you want bitter and critical, you've got your like the BBC original Office and Extras Christmas specials are all really good. Oh, and like I said, staged. Like they do. I don't have enough time to explain it, but in their last episode, they do a Christmas Carol as a play on Zoom, and it goes horribly wrong, and it's hilarious, and it just breaks down into a fight, and it's great crack because they both keep swapping who's being screwed. So yeah, that's a recent one. But in the minute we have left, are there any like Christmas TV shows or like specials or movies or anything you want to give a shout out to?
The Star Wars Holiday Special.
Let that hang in the air there.
Well, I totally forgot I had a Life Day orb.
Yeah, in the 50 seconds we have left, do you want to tell us what it does?
It's literally an orb, and you push a button, and it lights up, and it's from Life Day, and it has some Arpadesh on it, and yeah.
And where can people buy it?
Well, see, I don't think you can, because like I got it in this store, and obviously they were selling it in Galaxy's Edge. So, excuse me. So, yeah, I don't think you can.
All right. Well, with the small amount of time we have left before you pick up your Life Day orb and walk into space.
Yeah, Life Day
wearing red.
Life Day 2022.
Is there anything you want to say or anything you want to highlight before we wrap this eventually festive Christmas edition?
Well, I hope everyone has a great Christmas, and we will be on air before New Year's. So I don't know what we're doing for that. We might do a best of show or something like that. But yes, everyone have a good Christmas, and thank you for all the support this year.
Yeah, that's a very good sentiment. Yeah, because you sent me the numbers of like who's listened, and I'm incredibly grateful to everyone who takes the time to listen to us and support us. Like, you know,
it's crazy.
We really appreciate it, and we hope you all have a wonderful Christmas too.
Absolutely.
And with that, we'll be back for our New Year special, which will probably have some bizarre gimmick to it, which I haven't thought of yet. But until then, I've been Cian.
I've been Dara.
And we will see you during the holidays. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle all the way.
All right, so you're listening to the podcast. You're like, hey, I'm not in Ireland. How do I get in touch? Well, TuneIn has you covered. That's how you can check us out live when we're on the radio. You go to TuneIn and download the app, or you can check out the live streams on nerdtoknowmedia.com or Phoenix 92.5 FM. If you want to get in contact with us, it's very easy. Nerd to Know Media everywhere. Nerd to Know Media on Twitter, Nerd to Know Media Instagram, Nerd to Know Media on Twitch, Nerd to Know Media at gmail.com if you want to reach out via email. Hope to hear from you soon. Check out the Wrestling Rewind here on Phoenix 92.5 FM every Tuesday at 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. And of course, over on nerdtoknowmedia.com, the only wrestling podcast by wrestling fans who don't hate wrestling. We'll see you then.
Hey, Dara, what are you doing over there in Ireland? Like with the freaking leprechauns and everything. That's not cool. You should be over here with the cosplayers. At least then you could, like, I don't know, pretend like you got, I don't know, some kind of thing going on. Yeah, with you give me a Brooklyn Rage. With you. Dara. Yeah, Dara. Why ain't you over here with Joey? Anyway, we missed you, dude. So, this is Bill Caribo saying,
I love it.
Thank you for listening to a Nerd to Know Media production.